What's up, everybody? We have Tim here, who's been crushing it with Major League Profits, doing some of the sports betting arbitrage stuff and the sports card stuff. And I have him here so he can tell us all of his secrets and how he's been making so much money. But Tim, you want to introduce yourself? Where are you from? What do you like to do? What's your deepest secret? Tell everybody.
Well, my name's Tim Schweitzer. Originally from Lexington, Kentucky. I live in Versailles now, just right outside of Lexington. I'm a respiratory therapist. I've been doing that for almost 21 years. I love sports. I love sports cards. I love fantasy football, gambling, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like for years and years, I'm 45 now. So working in the hospital 36, sometimes 48 hours a week, it's getting harder. So for the past few years, I've looked at things that, maybe I could do as a side income or maybe subsidize my income fully.
Yeah.
And so after like the 100th Facebook ad I saw of your face,
Yeah.
I said, who is this guy? And clicked on your videos and, kind of the rest is history.
Okay. So I'll go back to that. I'm curious. So you were looking at, so the reason you were looking at a side income, like if you make money in another place, are you able to work less hours?
Yeah.
Is that how? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Oh, go on.
I was kind of, thinking about dropping down to part-time if I could subsidize that part of the income.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
So,
and part-time, what does that look like? Half the hours?
It's like 1 or 2 12-hour shifts a week.
Okay, gotcha. That's a lot more doable than like 4. And I know those 12-hour shifts are brutal. I have some friends that are like nurses and do it. I know you're.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, they say it's brutal, especially the overnight ones, man. I don't know how some of those people do it. Like 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Then you have to you do that a few days in a row. Then you have to resume to normal life. You try to go to bed at a normal time, and then you're right back to it. Like I go to bed at the same time every day and wake up at the same time every day.
I did it for 18 years, night shift.
Yeah.
For 18 years. Yeah.
You're stronger than me. I don't know how you did that. It's that's crazy to me. But so you're getting fed up with the hospital, wanted a different income, inject some excitement into your life. What did you look at? I'm curious.
Oh gosh. Me and Gary Smith has talked about this before. The different things that we've looked at into doing. I mean, anything and everything that you can think of.
Now, did you look into it or did you actually do it?
I didn't actually do it.
Okay.
But there was things, that ended up pyramid schemes and that kind of thing. And that's why when I first saw those videos, I was like, oh, here we go again. It's just another one of those. But it really wasn't until the pandemic, just like everybody else, when they had time at home, I didn't have time at home. I was working even more during the pandemic. But during that time, we were thinking about moving. We were looking through boxes. I found my old cards. I was like, well, what are these worth now? I hadn't looked at them in years. I used to be really into collecting cards when I was younger. I had some Kobe rookies and some old Jordans. And the first thing I thought about doing was, well, I need to go find a Beckett magazine to see what these are worth. Couldn't find out the hobbies come a long time, far along from that.
Very different.
So that kind of got me interested in the cards thing. And that's when I started seeing your videos pop up on Facebook and things. The sports,
they know what you're thinking.
They know what you're thinking. But once I contacted you and we had a couple of meetings and you started talking about sports arbitrage, that's what really caught my attention, because I knew that was something that, I could buy a bunch of sports cards, have them graded and sell them. That's going to take a little bit of time. What can I do right now that's going to put money in my pocket sooner rather than later?
Yep. That is, those words you just said is like there's like who Alex Hormozi is?
I've heard of the name. Yeah.
He's like a big internet business guy. He's got a big private equity firm now. But anyways, he has this great book. The book behind me, the purple one, $100 Million Offer. One of the things in the book is, how can you make an offer so good people would feel stupid saying no? And that's like the premise of like the offer of the book. And one of the things in there's like this equation, and it's like how can you make people money with as little time as possible, as fast as possible?
Mhm.
You could do that. The better you could do that, the more people will buy your product, program, whatever it is. And that's why the sports arbitrage is very appealing. It's actually like 20, 30 minutes a day, maybe. And you could literally make money right away. Like I tell people when I talk to them before joining the accelerator, like I literally say, like, I know this is gonna sound not too good to be true. I know, but just trust me. I'm telling you, you can literally make money tomorrow or the next day if you just do what we say. So yeah, it's very attractive. So curious, why did you? So you looked at these other things, and it's a good thing. Like, I'm not just saying this because like I have a coaching program that teaches people how to make money with sports cards, like all that other stuff, like Amazon and drop shipping and affiliate marketing. It is actually way, way harder. And it's so much more operationally complex, like suppliers in China and running ads and softwares and blah, 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 blah. It's and all that stuff to make like 10% margins, 20% margins. It's very, very difficult. But like, why? So you looked at all these other things and you decided to do the sports cards and the sports arbitrage. Like, was it just because the arbitrage was appealing? Is that what like put you over the edge?
It was appealing to me because, I've done sports betting for years. I didn't even know what arbitrage meant. I didn't know what low hold meant. I didn't know what positive EV betting was until I got into this program. So what was appealing to me was that I knew that, having researched all that like, wow, you could actually take advantage of bonuses that these sports books give you. And whereas before I would just place $100 bonus bet on something that I, using my emotion. Yeah. But, learning how to utilize those bonus bets to your favor, you can make money right away. It doesn't take a lot of time. I spend an hour or less a day placing all my bets. And then at the end of the day, I don't have to keep checking them because I know no matter what happens, I'm going to profit at the end of the day.
Yeah. So you're not just taking advantage of the offshore book bonuses, you're doing the arbitrage as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. I'm kind of utilizing everything in that program.
As you should. For those of you guys that don't know what we're talking about, sports betting arbitrage is basically betting both sides of a bet and making a guaranteed profit in the middle. Go YouTube it or Google it. But cool. So let's get into the money. So when did you join the program? How much money have you made? How have you made that money? Was it mostly sports cards? Was it arbitrage? Was it a mix? Go into that.
So I joined Major League Profits right around the end of February. And after a couple of weeks of going through the courses and talking to my personal coach, Josh, I started doing the arbitrage. April 18th, I think, was when I placed my very first arbitrage bet. I met with Coach Chad, who oversees that, and he kind of helped me get set up. Big props to Chad because I could not have done this without him.
Yep, he's a savage.
He is. So I placed my first bet on April 18th. I started with a $5,000 bankroll. And as of today,
if you're enjoying the content of the video and want to learn how to make a side income with sports cards, I spent the past 3 months putting together a training to show you exactly how it's done in detail. Sports cards has allowed me to live a life beyond my wildest imagination, and I'm thankful for the hobby every single day. That is the reason I teach sports cards, and I'm so passionate about it. At the end of the training, we offer a paid program where you can work closer with me. However, I do not want you joining until you've watched the training I put together. It will show you exactly what's inside the program and how to make money with sports cards, and from there, you can make an educated decision. If you'd like to sign up for the training, either scan the QR code on the screen or text the word Eric to 973-755-9486, or click the link in the description. Just to repeat it, if you'd like to sign up and watch the training, scan the QR code or text Eric to 973-755-9486, or click that link in the description. Now let's get back to the video.
My bankroll is at $13K and I have $8,000 of profit from that.
Oh, there's very, very few things in life you could almost triple your money in a few months, but that's arbitrage is one of them. Cool. So $8,000 from the arbitrage, 3 months.
Yep.
And then going to the sports cards. I know you told me you haven't sold a lot of your cards because you're holding them for a little bit longer for the football stuff. But go into that, like how many cards have you
Right.
bought? How much money have you spent on the cards? What types of cards have you been buying? Like what'd you do with them? Did you get them graded? Like go into that.
I've probably bought about 120 cards. I've sent close to 100 to PSA. I still have about 60 cards at PSA. And I have close to about 50 cards, either in hand or on consignment. I've profited about $2,000 from the sports cards that I've sold already. But I have another $5,000 to $7,000 in potential profit that I'm holding here for a couple of weeks right before the football season starts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hopefully, so though, if we when we speak if we speak in a month or a little bit over, at that point you would have been in the program for 6 months. You'll probably be making the arbitrage will probably be at 10K ish by then.
Yep.
The cards would be at like 7-ish by then, so like 17K profit.
Yep.
6 months, which is good. And the great thing about it only builds, right? Like
Yep.
sports cards is kind of like an avalanche effect. Like as the momentum gets more, the more money you make, because the more cards you have out of grading, the bigger your bankroll gets. Buy, sell, grade, repeat. What's crazy is like, even though every piece of information, like inside of all the videos and everything, like the coaches learned it all from me. Some of you guys take it and do it better than me. Like I honestly, I have no idea how you bought 120 cards. And like all the like, and I'm the one who made the program. Like some of you guys like take it like a step farther than I ever have. Like now I do it a little different. I buy less cards, but higher end. They're graded, so I do it weird. But even back in my day, like when I was full-time sports cards, like the average card I would buy was like maybe $200 to $300, and like I was buying like 10 a week on average. Like some of you fucking guys are buying like 25, 30 a week. I'm like, holy shit, where are all these cards coming from? And I'm the one that taught like you how to do it, which is like funny. I remember when Coach Mo, he bought 120 his first month.
Yeah.
I was like, what's wrong with you? How did you do that? Like you should be teaching this program, not me. But cool. And so good profit, good money.
Mhm.
Now, curious, I meant to ask this in the beginning. So what were your thoughts? Like, obviously now, you know, it's like one of the biggest things with coaching is like, it's a scam, right? You see all these ads online, people, it's a scam, it's a scam, it's a scam. Like, I'm sure you've seen the comments on my ads. It's a scam, right?
Yep.
But when you first joined the program, like, what were your thoughts? Like, what percent of your brain out of 100% was like, this is a scam versus like, I'm excited and I'm going to make money? Like, were you 50-50? Were you like mostly scam?
No.
Were you mostly, this is
No,
good?
I was probably like 70%. This is a scam, and let's just see what happens, because I'm passionate about sports. So I was like, let's take the gamble, see what happens. But I did my homework on you before our one-on-one call. So what I did is I reached out. I saw your ad on Facebook. I went back to that ad. I looked through the comments, and I saw a guy that was actually in your program. I private messaged him. He said, man, this is 100% legit. Just give it a chance. You'll love it. You won't regret it. I've since messaged him back and said, Chris, you were right. You were right about the whole thing. So I'm glad I took his advice.
Yeah.
So yeah, once I got in the program, even after the day that we talked and I signed up, I even thought, man, I got 3 days. You know, I could probably cancel in 3 days. And something within me was just like, you know what, just do it. You know, you've been here before, you've almost took the leap, and never did it. And I was like, this time I'm going to do it and just see if it pays off. And it has.
You know, it's funny because like it's easy for like I've probably spent like this whole business you see here today was built off online education, like learning like how to market and like how to sell and like how to get people success and like all that stuff. So like it's like, very easy for me to spend money on coaching programs, but it's crazy when you like I've said this a million times and I'll never stop saying it to the day I die. Like, let's take a coaching program, for example. Your classic high ticket coaching program would be like $5,000 to $10,000 in that range. And people are like, oh my God, this is crazy expensive, but college is $100,000.
Yeah.
And like, imagine I said to you, like, give us $100,000 and you might make 50K a year in 4 years. You got to wait 4 years. And most of the stuff you're going to learn is probably useless. We just want you to take more classes so you can just give us more money. That's to me, that sounds like a scam.
Yeah.
I don't know. that's just me. Like, I went to college and like I went to a prestigious business school, and like I literally don't think anything I learned in there applies to owning a business. Like, I
Yeah.
can't think of any class that helped. Like, even in your case, like you work for a hospital.
Mhm.
Remember all those bullshit classes you had to take? Like for me, like writing and like dance in fucking Europe, and
Yeah.
like they make you take all these classes just to suck more money out of you because they want you there longer. The longer you're there, more money you give them, right?
Sure.
And like people don't flinch to do that. But
Yeah.
when they see an ad online, it's like, whoa, like this guy's a scam. But I don't know. That's just, I can go on forever, but cool. So I'm glad things are working out. And last question I'll leave you with is, so we're like, you've been in the program for like 5 months total. If
Yeah.
you can give yourself a piece of advice going back, actually I have 2 more questions. This is the second to last one. Give yourself a piece of advice going back when you first started. What would you tell yourself?
I wish I'd have done this years ago.
No, well, that's
Years ago.
Well, actually, from your end, is actually you joined almost at the perfect time because we didn't add the arbitrage in until January. We were
Yeah.
testing it out end of last year. Then we officially added it into the program January.
Yeah.
So yeah, you would have just been doing the sports cards if you joined years ago. But yeah, that's,
But as far as just joining, I took a month to just kind of sit back, go through the courses, and I still doubted myself that I could do this. So I wish I hadn't have doubted myself, because I've proved to myself and to my family that this is very profitable way of doing business.
yeah,
And it doesn't really take a lot of finances or time to do it.
and it's fun.
And it's fun. It's fun as
Yeah.
hell.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
talk to
yeah,
people at work all the time. Hey, I just sold this card. They don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I just sold this card and I made this much money. You know?
Yep. Yeah, it's funny because people complain all the time, like, this is so expensive, that's so expensive, and people talk about money all the time. And even like before I started Major League Profits, like I would tell people like in college, like, dude, you could just like flip sports cards. I'll show you exactly how to do it. You can make an extra 1,000 a month very easily, and
Yeah.
like, you'll never have to worry about getting a drink at the bar. And it was, no one ever took me up on the offer, and I was like, why? Why don't people like want to execute and like make more money to give themselves a better life? Never understood it. Like, I don't know. That's just a side thing. But here's the last thing I'll leave you off with. I'm gonna ask you to make a promotional piece of content right now.
Right.
Let's say, pretend I'm Joe Schmo and I'm asking you. I've been seeing these ads of Eric. Not sure if it's a scam or not. I have some extra money. I like sports. I make 100 grand a year. Should I do it? What would you tell that person?
Absolutely, you should do it. If you have the finances and you have just a little bit of time just to invest not only into this program, but into yourself, into your family. I just took my family to Charleston for a short, 4-day vacation that was paid 100% by the profits of this program. Could I have done that before? Sure. But I would have had to dig into my own pocket, take money out of our own accounts and do that. I didn't have to do that. I used 100% profits. And to those people that say, well, this sounds too good to be true, or it sounds really good, but I don't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time either. Like I said, I work 36 to 48 hours sometimes a week at the hospital. I have 3 teenage daughters who are in all different sports. And my wife has a full-time career, and I still find time to not only do the sports card side of it, but the sports betting arbitrage side of it as well.
Yep, that is good. And yeah, that's what I tell people, man. I'm like, if you just did this for an hour a day, you can make an extra $2 grand a month. Like how much easier is it to go on vacation and swipe that credit card knowing you don't gotta worry about paying off the credit card bill because you're making an extra few grand a month. Like, makes life way easier. And people say money doesn't buy happiness. But I would argue if all your relationships are right in life, it does elevate your happiness.
It does.
Like I think that's bullshit, honestly, because like going on vacation and not worrying about the dinners and going on jet skis, whatever, that's happiness, right? I don't know. It sounds like happiness to me.
Absolutely.
But cool, Tim. I do appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on. We'll drop this on like YouTube, throw it in Discord, all that good stuff. But yeah, man, I appreciate it.
Appreciate you.